Chris Powell from ABC's Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition joining us on the line right now. Hey, Chris.
Jeremy, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, my friend.
Good. Well, you know, the show is back for its second season, and, I mean, the title sort of explains it, but for those who might not be familiar with the show, give us a quick synopsis.
Oh, gosh. Well, the show, it encompasses and it portrays one person's journey for weight loss over the course of a full year. They've got 365 days to essentially kind of write the end of their own story, and they set out to lose half of their body weight. So the majority of the people that I work with, of course, they're categorized as super obese. So they've got a BMI of over 50, and they're typically about 200 to 250 pounds overweight. And the best thing is that the show, it's documentary style, and so it captures real life, the ups and the downs, and so it's not all hugs and high fives. I mean, there's tragedy and basically everything that real life can throw at you.
And you mentioned that it's a pretty long-term commitment, and I mean, we often hear people make a New Year's resolution to lose weight, and, you know, they give that a go for a couple days or a couple weeks. So for a year, to have these people working at getting healthy and in shape, what is the... I should even actually backtrack. Healthy and in shape, is that the same thing?
Not so much, actually. There's, wellness and weight loss. They're two different monsters. You know, ultimately, you can lose weight. You can lose weight quickly. You can lose weight rapidly. You can lose weight using chemicals. But, of course, health and wellness, that's a completely different thing. And so, ultimately, we try to marry the two, and we want people to lose weight in a healthy way. And so, as far as our approach goes, yeah, we actually want to switch people over from processed foods to real whole natural foods, and we actually get them moving and drinking a gallon of water a day, and most importantly, though, just helping them change their mindset.
Do you find a lot of people are in denial about obesity? Like, this is one of those things that you can see it. You know, it's not like some other addictions that, you know, people can deny it. But do people sort of know and take accountability or responsibility for it in your situations that you've experienced?
Well, fortunately, I think there's such a growing awareness around it. I mean, thank goodness that the media has gotten involved, and they're really opening up America's eyes to this obesity epidemic that's upon us. But at the same time, when I'm in the trenches out there, and I'm in the southeast and in the central states, and even on the west coast, and I encounter so many of these obese individuals that simply are not aware. They're uneducated, and so it's frightening. Yes, there's a growing awareness, and thank goodness, because we need to be heading in this direction. But at the same time, we've got a long ways to go, because when I'm out in the trenches in America with these people, there's still a lot that needs to be that we need to educate them on.
We're going to talk about health, getting active or staying active. We've got to take a break. We're going to get back to the music, but more with Chris. And you've got a book out. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. More with Chris Powell. Stick around. All right, Jeremy Bradley here, back on the show talking with Chris Powell from ABC's Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition. Now, Chris, I'm one of those people that I really don't have a sweet tooth or bad cravings aside from onion dip every once in a while, but
Yeah.
And that's okay every once in a while, right?
Absolutely. In fact, it's so important when we're creating some kind of nutrition lifestyle that you allow yourself that emotional and psychological reward. And it's funny because emotionally and psychologically, it's great to have that cheat day or that cheat meal. But also physiologically, believe it or not, when you're losing weight and your body's at a calorie deficit, at least once a week, you need to actually go into a calorie maintenance or surplus. You need to eat actually more calories than your body's consuming, because it helps reset your system for continued weight loss. Believe it or not, you'll lose weight faster by cheating once a week than by chronically dieting. And it constantly keeps resetting the body so you can lose weight faster. It's a really cool thing.
So, I mean, one thing that we hear, though, is people are often told to get rid of all the junk food, but maybe that's not necessarily the case.
Well, yeah. Fortunately, it is, and I'm glad you brought this up. For any junk food that's in the house, clear it out, because I promise you, if it is in your house, you're going to eat it probably when you're not supposed to eat it. So here's what we do, and this is what I always recommend for my people, is that the house is an environment for success. However, whenever you have that cheat meal or that cheat day, go outside the house and get it. Whether you want to go to the convenience store, whether you want to go to your favorite restaurant, or even just to a vending machine, whatever it is, just leave the house And then but when you come back into your house, keep it clean. Keep the house your safe environment for success. And really recreate your habits and your patterns inside your house. It's very important because when all of a sudden you've got the bag of chips in the pantry or you got the pint of ice cream in the freezer, chances are, come 7, 8 o'clock at night, or you're experiencing some triggers, you had a bad day, you're emotionally depressed, whatever might be happening, you're going to reach for it when you're not supposed to reach for it, and that can be a really dangerous downward spiral.
So if you're not at home, though, let's say you're at work or at a party, the bowl of chips is right there, the junk food is in your face, how do you resist the temptation, though? One thing I always find funny, though, is that the person being challenged often blames the other people for the food being around, but it's really about self-control.
Absolutely, and you bring up a really good point here, is that for the person who's blaming everyone else around them, that's someone who's not ready for change yet. I'll tell you, when I'm selecting people that I'm going to work with, I'm looking for people who take ultimate responsibility for their actions. They're not a victim of their circumstances, because real life says you're going to find yourself in situations where you're at the buffet or at a barbecue with the family, or you're at the movies with friends and they're buying popcorn. So that's going to happen, guys. That's real life. You are in control. You are in control of your own actions, and nobody here is a victim. So no one's going to hold a gun to your head and actually make you eat that food. You make the decision. You make the choice to. So that's when you are ready for that change, you are in control, and you take ultimate responsibility for your actions. But at the same time, those are also powerful triggers when you're at the family barbecue or at the buffet or whatever. And so we can use all these different tactics to navigate around it. Like, number one, avoidance is a really powerful tactic, especially when you're first starting into your weight loss journey, just to avoid that area where the food is being served, or you simply eat beforehand. Eat a high-fiber meal and eat some protein and something so you're actually full, so you're completely satiated when you're in that position, so that your brain isn't in the red zone and you're not going to be craving those foods. Or we do something that my peeps, we call it quote-unquote glassing, and you simply pick up a glass as soon as you get there with some kind of calorie-free beverage, and you sip on it throughout the entire time so that your hands are busy and you don't feel like you need to occupy yourself by eating. And so we actually simply just sip on some kind of calorie-free liquid the whole time that we're actually at like a social event. And so there's all these different tactics that you can actually use to navigate through the situation and come out on top, completely in control.
We have less than a minute, so we've got to motor through this. You've got a book out. It's called Choose to Lose. We've got a couple to give away. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you have a trivia question for listeners, maybe something from your show, from the book? We'll have a bit of a contest right now. Very quickly.
Okay, how about this?
Okay.
What is the greatest percentage of weight loss on any reality show? Greatest percentage. We're going to say 52%, 54%, 56%, or 58%.
All right, so if you know the answer, or you think you know the answer, give me a shout, jb@jbonair.com, and we'll randomly pick a winner with the correct answer. Sounds good. I don't even know the answer to that. I'll have to look it up. The book is called Choose to Lose. The show is Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition, Sunday nights on ABC. Chris Powell, I could chat with you all day, but thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. Take care now.
Today's best news.